Lernerville Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
Well, let's do this all over again here. I'll unmute myself. We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I'm Zach Chapman here with Shaggy TV, and we're at the Lernerville Speedway tonight for Thursday Night Thunder. We have a big crowd here. 31 drivers registered in the session. 2 drivers haven't put in the time. You'll see 29 there on the sheet, but the Spider Monkey in the 83, Brandon Dittmer and Glenn Sharp are in the session. Not sure if they'll end up racing with us here this evening. I hope they do. But we've got a big show. We're going to take 24 to the feature. That means we're going to send 7 home. And everyone out there tuning in, you wouldn't be able to tune in if we didn't have FTM and Venom Racing come together. That's Full Throttle Motorsports and Venom Racing, 2 separate teams here that run in the Coast to Coast Racing League. They came up with the broadcast money for the rest of the season here for the small blocks. So for that, we appreciate them 100%. Classy guys over there in those teams, and I mean, really, it's impressive. They've talked about it before. You know, they'll race each other really hard on the racetrack, but at the same time, they'll come together on the outside to keep the machine rolling, and that's exactly what we do here at Coast to Coast. Good racing every week, a well-oiled machine. Let's take a look at some of the guys out here right now. Rick Main, a guy we don't see too often in the small blocks. Good to see Rick out here in the 187 machine. Let's see here. I'm being a little quiet because it seems like iRacing's a little quiet to you guys. But let me know in the chat box if you don't mind. I crank it up a little bit. I just did turn it up a little, but if it needs to go up some more, let me know here. Should be rolling into qualifying pretty soon here as the Philly Flyer watches Rick Main go over in the 187. And, well, I'll tell you, maybe that's something I should reach out, figure out how Marty does that with the over the top, the off-track counter. The fall-off count, that's what it is, the fall-off count. I don't know how he does that. I don't have anything like that, so not going to be able to watch the fall-offs like our man Marty when he does it. But going to have to deal with it is at 27. He is on the top of the charts right now in warm-ups. Justin Hazlett. Anthony Morano, as soon as I click him, he pulls off the racetrack. Dean Reynolds out there in the 79. He's running around here a little bit. See what kind of line Dino takes here through 3. Just running the middle line. Seems like that's where the grip is right now. And he's going to slow her down here. Probably get ready to pull her off. Dino's had enough. He's seen enough. He's ready to go into qualifying here. The 444 Scott Rayom pulls out. Steal a little bit of camera time here before we advance. I'm going to turn this up a little more here. I must have the cameras really quiet here for Lernerville. That probably sounds a little better. Scott Rayom, he'll be a guy who you got to watch flirting with the pole here. All right, I'm going to give it a shot. DeBias, John DeBias. He's listed as a 21 car. Looks like a 3 to me. But I didn't do that well, in school, so who really knows? I'm gonna think it's a 3 there. Who's in that 27 machine running on the outside? Is that Justin? He just pulled out there, but a little late because we're going to roll into qualifying here at 7 o'clock. Time to roll. Let's see who gets out on the racetrack first. It's normally Brandon Templeton. Got my eye on him. There he is. Oh, it is close. Dean, you almost had him, I'm telling you. And then you lifted. You would have gotten the first lap honors here. Oh, you might get it. Brandon goes over. He's at 0.5. We did have a man pass him here. Michael Vitale taking the green flag here. Lap number 1. Let's see what the 213 can do. That LFM 213 looking real good. It's sticking well into 3. Good run off of 4. What kind of speed does he have? Let's look at the line. Not enough. Superman's got the cape flapping. The 218 quick time for now. Can Kurt find a little more speed here? Get a little cushion between him and the 007 of Sam Bachman. Not going to improve, but so far doesn't need to. The 218. Real fast on that opening lap. Jeff Barker in the top 5 with a P4 right now. The Ant-Man coming home 10th. Gotta think he thought he had a little more than that. Let's see here. Tom Hazlett He was your quick man in warm-ups. Let's see what the 27 does. Lap number 1, P7, goes to the top shelf for the second time around. Can he improve? He was quicker through sector 1 and 2. How far does he jump up? Tom Hazlett not going to improve at all. Did gain in lap time, but just not enough to jump spots. P28 for Tom Hazlett. Quite the drop-off in speeds there from warm-ups to qualifying, as you can see. And well, we get ready for our first of 4 heat races, I'd assume. Starting on the outside of row number 4 in the 97, Butch Baker into his inside, the 247 of Michael Vecchio. Row number 3 to the outside in the 122, Brian Dickens. And to his inside, the 213 of Michael Vitale. Superman in the 218 lines up on the outside of row number 2. And to his inside, the 444 of Scott Rayome. Row number 1 for heat race number 1. We will start on the front row for tonight's feature. On the outside, the 518, Joseph 100 Grandy. And to his inside, starting on the pole, the 89, Mason hit him with the Hein. As we get ready to roll here. Mason Hein set to lead us to the green flag here for heat race number 1. Have to see if the boys play nice here or if we take the gloves off early. Long time, long ways to go. Hopefully we behave here and set the tone for a good night, but the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 8 laps to play in the clay at the Lernerville Speedway. Heat race number 1 underway. 100 grand with a great jump on the outside. Will he be able to shut the door on the 89? Doesn't need to. Great run off that top shelf. Scott Rayome looks to make it 3 wideys in the middle. Superman letting the cape flap in the breeze upstairs. But Mason with a good run through 3 and 4. He leads lap number 1, and Joseph Grandy goes down. He pinches him through 1 and 2. He shuts the door. Mason trying to do it one more time. A lot of grip down there in 3 and 4. Not enough to take the lead back. And he may fall victim here to the 444, Scott Rayome, with a good run on the outside. Oh, the 213 bouncing around there. Michael Vitale, he gets into Superman. And just like that, Kurt Schatzer finds himself in the B main. Remember, only the top 4 make the show in the 122. That man won your feature last week. First ever 358 modified feature win for the 122. And if he wants to do it again, getting into that top 4 is going to be his ticket. Mason Hein gets into Scott Rayome. And man, oh man, just like that, Scott Rayome, like a wounded duck, just falls to the back here, and Mason Hein, you know, he lifts out of that, didn't want to turn Scott, but the damage already done. And your top 3, Joseph Grandy, Brian Dickens now in the 122, Michael Vecchio, both of those drivers up 4 spots here. Nobody saw that coming, and with 2 laps to go, will Superman be able to hold off that 97 of Butch Baker? White flag ready to fly. 1 more lap as Brian Dickens slowly reeling in your leader. Joseph Grandy with a good run up top. Shouldn't feel any pressure. Final time through 3 and 4. 100 grand's going to start on the pole for tonight's feature. Brian Dickens, Michael Vecchio, and Kurt Schatzer punch their ticket. Butch Baker, Michael Vitale, Mason Hein, and Scott Rayome to the B main. Real heartbreak, you got to think there for Scott Rayome. That is not what you saw when you envisioned this heat race rolling off, but never goes how you want it to, does it? And Well, Scott just found that out the hard way. Starting on the outside of row number 4, rounding out the field in the 93, Jason Butterfield into his inside in the 099, Glenn Sharp. The 7 of Bob DeGood starts on the outside of row number 3 into his inside in that 88, Soupy Dan McLaren. James Bond's got that 007 lined up on the outside of row number 2. That's Samuel Bachman into his inside, his FTM teammate, Putt-Putt Clay Christopherson. Row number 1 for heat race number 2. Winner starts on the outside of the front row for tonight's feature. To the outside, the Philly Flyer in the 075, Trevor Giroux. And to his inside in the 71, my Gambler Motorsports teammate, the Professor, John Hine. We're not going to pull the pace car off early here. Going to pace around one more time. And then we'll get ready for 8 laps here. Heat race number 2 at the Lernerville Speedway. John Hine. Nice to see him out here. He hasn't been on the track as much. I know work's had him busy. Gonna have to make sure work doesn't have him busy when we do this 24-hour race at Daytona in a couple weeks. Definitely looking forward to that. But this is going to be excitement. Heat race number 2. Green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 8 laps to play in the clay. Heat race number 2 underway. The Professor with a good jump on the bottom. Soupy gets a little tight. Putt-Putt trying to find some grit down there. And well, that's where he gets the nickname from, Putt-Putt. He will slow that car down. He will woe it down. He loves running downstairs. There's contact in the back. Butters, Bob DeGood, and Glenn Sharp. And, man, they're going to have to race their way through a nasty B main. Going to be a lot of cars in that. Only taking 8 to the show. Putt-Putt working on the 71 as the 075 looks up in that rearview mirror, and he is absolutely loving what he sees off this gearbox. Putt-Putt able to slide up in front of John Hine. And now Sammy, yeah, that is Sam Bachman down there in the 007. Look at him get the twofer. He gets by the Professor and his teammate in the 51. Clay says, hold up, wait a minute. I'm going to come back at you here, but well, you can't always get what you want, as the Rolling Stones say there. Clay Christopherson dancing on the outside, looking to get a big run off, but man, he almost dipped that right rear over the cushion. Flirting with death up there on the outside as the 075's got the sail set out front. Big run, though, for Putt-Putt on the outside, doing the unthinkable, but Sammy Bachman goes in there and he shuts the door with a slider. Even if Clay gets this run off, now he's going to have to adjust to go to the inside because Sam's going up there and throwing him the rear end, really trying to cut off this run. And, well, the Philly Flyer sees the white flag in the air. One more trip around. Can he hold on here as the battle heats up for third and fourth? Final time through 3 and 4. Trevor Giroux takes the checkered flag here. Heat race number 2. Sam Bachman comes home P2. Clay Christopherson and John Hine punch their ticket. Dan McLaren, Bob DeGood, Jason Butterfield, and the 99 of Glenn Sharp for the B-Main. Get ready here, heat race number 3. The Philly Flyer pulling around for one last photo op there. Starting on the outside of row number 4 in the 21, John DeBias, and to his inside, the 187 of Rick Mayne. The Canadian Alex Pomerleau takes that 37, and he lines up in row number 3 on the outside of the 011 of Randall Dixon. Row number 2 to the outside, the 31 of B-Temp, Brandon Templeton. And it is inside the 27 of Justin Hazlett. Row number 1 for heat race number 3. Winner starts on the inside of row number 2. To the outside, the 32 of the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. And it is inside in the 81, Mike Weida. As we try to fix this overlay here, we're going to go around one more time, so I'll have plenty of time to fix it. No harm, no foul. It's nice. I don't always have that much time. Yeah, I don't know what it is about my settings, but it does not like Heat Race number 2. It's pretty crazy. I don't know what it is, though. Not the computer tech guy, but I'll tell you, if anybody out there knows, I am open to some suggestions as we get ready to roll Heat Race number 3. 8 laps here at the Lernerville Speedway. Green flag is high. It's ready to fly. We're ready to play in the clay at Lernerville Speedway. Mike Guida with a good restart here, but the 27 of Justin Hazlett makes it 3 wide early as the Magic Ant-Man trying to sprinkle some dust and make that high side work as Mike Guida to the inside, Hazlett to the inside, Guida in the middle, able to slot up in front of the 31. But the 27, he's not going anywhere. Great run on the bottom through 1 and 2. And you gotta think he's gonna make it work here out of 4. He does lead lap number 2. Can he complete the pass through 1 and 2? The 27 able to float up and not shut the door ever so close. Does he get aggressive coming off of 4? He leads lap number 3, 5 to go. Anthony Morano sticking to that outside. Oh, they're almost 3 wide coming off the corners. The 011 of Randall Dixon gets into the side of the Canadian. They battle hard as Justin Hazlett leads yet another lap. Cross flags, 4 to go. Anthony Morano with a slide job. Justin gets into the back. That's going to disrupt his momentum here. Does he complete it? Anthony gets fed the rear end, and now all of a sudden it's a 3-man party. Brandon Templeton, welcome to the show. 3 to go. Anthony gonna send it in here. Justin's gotta go back underneath. He's able to do so, but give it to Anthony at the line. 2 laps left to play. What kind of run can Anthony get off the bottom here? Not enough. The 27 goes down and shuts the door. We're gonna see the white flag this time by 1 more lap to go. Anthony Morano goes upstairs looking for one last charge. Can he close in enough? I just don't think he can. He gets in the grass. Both of them. B-Temp's got to get on the binders. Justin Hazlett wins Heat Race number 3. Anthony Morano P2. Mike Guida steals P3 at the line from B-Temp. But Alex Pomerleau, Randall Dixon, Rick Main, and John DeBias, they've got to go to the B main. Your 4th and final heat race here at the Lernerville Speedway for the FTM Venom Racing Small Block Modifieds on the outside of row number 4 in the 033, John Morano. And to his inside, the 57 of Tom Hazlett, or Thomas Hazlett. There are 2 Tom Hazletts in this that I just... Or no, the other one's Justin. That's right. So we got, okay, family members. All right. Okay, Shaggy was bugging out for a second. Row number 3 to the outside. We got the Spider Monkey in the 83, Brandon Dittmer into his inside, and the 79, Dean Reynolds. Row number 2 in the 513 to the outside, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker into his inside, the 56 of Randy Shreves. Row number 1 for heat race number 4. Whoever takes this one home is going to start on the outside of row number 2. Sean Green in the 271 to the outside. Trent Verstraeten starting on the pole in the 088 as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 4 underway. Let's play in the clay at Lernerville Speedway. Randy Shreves with a good jump in the basement here, able to go from 3rd to 2nd early as the 271 of Sean Green struggles. Dean Reynolds trying to fight with Jeff Barker over that final transfer spot. And here comes the Spider Monkey in the 83, Brandon Dittmer. Brandon doesn't want to have to race his way through the B main. He knows he's got the speed. Same with the 79. This is a tough heat, though, as they touch. Dean Reynolds gets into the side of the 513. Then he gets a rear end full there, the 57. As the 57 Tom Hazlett getting aggressive here early. Man, these guys are ready to play. Trent Verstraeten pulling away with 5 laps to go, but Randy Shreve slowly maybe reeling him in here, actually. Let's take a look at these last couple laps. I mean, Randy had to fight to get around, so Trent ran the fastest lap of the race 2 laps ago, but Shreves did get him back a little last lap. Let's see what it looks like here. Lap number 4, Verstraeten ekes that lead back out, but Sean Green in that 271, he's got it rolling now, so plenty of time for things to change as Randy Shreves. He really made up the gap there this lap. Randy Shreves, where did he come from? The 56 rocketing out of nowhere. Jeff Barker doesn't want to sit around in P4. He doesn't want to be the last man in the dance. You want to get up there to P3, get yourself a little bit of a cushion, because the 79, he's running him down. He's all over that rear end. Jeff doesn't want to have to race his way through the B main, may not have a choice. Randy Shreves looks low through 3 and 4, not able to get to the door. White flag flies. Final lap of heat race number 4. Randy Shreves trying to find the grip, trying to make it interesting, but Trent shuts the door. Final time through 3 and 4. The 088 wins heat race number 4, followed by Randy Shreves, Sean Green, and Jeff Barker, Dean Reynolds, Brandon Dittmer, Tom Hazlett, and John Morano to the B main. Let's take a look at the starting grid here for our B main. Remember, 8 drivers make the show, 8 going home. The 033 of John Morano starts on the outside of row number 8 and is inside the 21 of John Tobias. Outside of row number 7 in the 099, Glenn Sharp, into his inside in the 444, Scott Rayome. Tom Hazlett lines up in the 57 on the outside of row number 6 and his inside the 187 of Rick Mayne. Butters, Jason Butterfield lines up on the outside of row number 5 and his inside the 89 of Mason Hine. The Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, lines up on the outside of row number 4 and his inside the 011 of Randall Dixon. Row number 3, the 7 of Bob DeGood to the outside, the 213 of Michael Vitale to the inside. Row number 2, Dean Reynolds to the outside, and the Canadian Alex Pomerleau to his inside in the 397. Row number 1 for tonight's 358 Modified B main, presented to you by Full Throttle Motorsports and the Venom Racing Team. To the outside in the 88, a Venom Racing driver, Dan McLaren, into his inside, his Venom Racing teammate in the 97, Butch Baker. As the Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off, the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. I believe, 10 laps to decide your fate at the Lernerville Speedway. We're underway. Remember, top 8 is what you're looking for. Let's see, the Spider Monkey is in that final transfer spot. That's the 83 of Brandon Dittmer. The 11 of Randall Dixon flirting with him, though, on the inside. Oh, as Butters gets into the side of the 83 of Brandon Dittmer. 93 tightened up a little bit. Then he gets a rear end from the 57. The 93 goes over, and just like that, Jason Butterfield. Man, that's going to be the end of his story here at the Lernerville Speedway. Tough break. The Spider Monkey trying to climb on that high side, going where really no one else around him is. He's able to get around the 011, able to get around the 7 of Bob DeGood now, really increasing his chances of making the show up to 6th. Your 8th and final transfer spot right now is going back and forth between the 7 and the 011. That is your battle, 7th and 8th. 4 wide behind him, Mason Hine on the bottom. Scott Rayome dipped out of it for a second, but got a good run off. Thought about getting back in the mix, but Mason not finding the grip he needs downstairs. Whoa, contact is man, oh man. hard hit. John Tobias gets into Scott Rayome, and Scott Rayome just not going to be his night tonight. He is going to miss the show in the 444 as we're 4 wide through 3 and 4. The 57 gets into Bob DeGood, and just like that, Bob DeGood, a lot of damage. Man, oh man, his night's going to be over. The 83 of Brandon Dittmer now in that 8th and final transfer spot. He's got to watch out. It's going to get nasty. 3 laps to go. The 57 thinks about throwing a slide job, just not enough room. Can Tom Hazlitt find a run and get away around the Spider Monkey? Working the Spider Monkey. Hold on. It's him and Rick Mayne. Nose to tail. Soupy, we haven't talked about him all race. Big lead out front. He takes the white flag. Final trip around, but we're going to watch this battle for the 8th and final transfer spot. Brandon Dittmer with a good run off the top shelf. You got to think he goes downstairs and protects here. Final time through 3 and 4. Contacting behind. Brandon's going to skate through. Dan McLaren, Dean Reynolds, Butch Baker, Michael Vitale, Alex Pomerleau, Randall Dixon, Rick Mayne, and Brandon Dittmer. Welcome to the feature. Glenn Sharp, Tom Hazlitt, Mason Hahn, John Morano, John Tobias, Bob DeGood, Scott Rayome, Jason Butterfield. See ya in the Atlantic Management Resources Big Block Modifieds later on, we hope. But with that here, we're going to take a quick break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Step away for a few minutes and we'll be back with your 358 modified features. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. A little over 20 seconds here till we roll into tonight's 358 modified feature presented by the Full Throttle Motorsports and Venom Racing teams. Joseph Brandy, top of the chart. Sam Bachman, P2. Superman, P3. Randall Dixon, 4th. And Sean Green rounding out the top 5. It's Dino that just stuck his nose up in the top 5. He moves on up to P4, so You know, finding speed when it matters here as we get ready to roll into race time. Let's see what the 79 can do. I saw Megan chime in the chat box. That's saying she's out there. And yes, Scott, you're not one who I picked to miss a feature. That's for sure. I would have lost a lot of money. I would have bet the week's paycheck on you making the feature. But you know how it goes, man. Tough break. Definitely wasn't your fault tonight. And, well, we expect to see you contending for a win in the big blocks, that's for sure. Rounding out the field, outside of row number 12, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, into his inside, Rick Main. Outside of row number 11, Randall Dixon, into his inside, the Canadian, Alex Pomerleau. Row number 10, to the high side, Michael Vitale, to the low side, the 97 of Butch Baker. Dean Reynolds lines up on the outside of row number 9, into his inside, Soupy Dan McLaren. The Brewerton Beast lines up on the outside of row number 8. That's Jeff Barker, into his inside, the 31 of Brandon Templeton. The Professor, John Hine, takes the outside of row number 7, into his inside, Superman Kurt Schatzer. Sean Green to the outside of row number 6, and to his inside in the 81, Mike Weeda. Putt lines up on the outside of row number 5, Clay Christofferson, and to his inside, the 247 of Michael Vecchio. Row number 4 to the outside, the 56 of Randy Shreves, and to the inside, the 32 of Anthony Morano. James Bond, Sammy Bachman lines up to the outside of row number 3, and to his inside, could he win back-to-back weeks here, the 122 of Brian Dickens. Row number 2 to the outside, Trent Verstraeten, and to the inside, Justin Hazlett. Row number 1 for tonight's 358 modified feature event at the Lernerville Speedway. The Philly Flyer to the outside and $100,000. Joseph Grandy to the inside. Who you got? Let us know in the chat box as the boys get ready to play in the clay at Lernerville Speedway. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 30 laps at the Lernerville Speedway. $100,000 sends it in right away. Oh, man, what is going on here? As it's got Anthony Morano in the lead. That is not correct. Hopefully we get a little bit of an update here. But for some reason, man, oh man, that is not correct. We'll have to watch that here as the time rolls. We'll see if it refreshes here under caution because we're about to get one big stack up here. And man, oh man, it just did cycle through. It's got Trevor Giroux back up front. SDK was falling asleep for a minute. Man, oh man, a lot of stuff here happened. Let's see, this may have been a little too early. Let's see, though. You see Joseph, he steps up over the edge here. That's where it starts. And I mean, it is just a parking lot. After that, nowhere for Trent Verstraeten to go. Nowhere for Sam Bachman. That's him in the 007. Clay Christofferson getting rear-ended. John Hine getting rear-ended. There, the 71 involved. Man, oh man. Look at Dino go around. There was nowhere for anyone to go here. It is a madhouse. You name your driver, they're probably involved in this one. Tough break here in the early goings. We got Gramps out there rooting for Butch and all the Venom boys here tonight. Yeah, no slide job, no Isaac here tonight. He's probably on an important date, so we better let him be. Gotta keep Kels happy. Is making, how many times have you gotten to kick Dino off that thing? It's probably countless amounts of times. 'Cause Dean would do anything for love. We know that. He's not going around just yet. Caution got extended. They did double up. I thought we were going to go, but Steve King Foundation pace car never went off. Hanging back a little further, so it makes it tough on me because it doesn't let me grab the pace car. But there we go. Yeah, lights are off again. Should be going green this time by. As the drivers roll through 3 and 4, the Philly Flyer set to bring us back to the green flag. He drops the hammer. We're back underway. 27 laps to go. Lifetime here at the Lernerville Speedway, so buckle up and hold on. The 513 way low in 1 and 2. Soupy gets his nose chopped off. He's got a lifter. He goes for a ride over that edge. Will Michael Vecchio leave him room this time? He does. Soupy to the outside, looking for a 2-for-1 discount through 1 and 2. Great run by Dan McLaren. Man, oh man, Soupy's ready to play. The 075 of the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux, leading the way for now. Battle heating up behind him. The Magic Ant-Man trying to do something. We saw Dan McLaren go down over the grass. He's able to hold on to it. Brian Dickens trying to hold off the Brewerton Beast, but Jeff Barker, lots of speed. Here he comes. I thought I saw a little hiccup there from some drivers, but must not, as everything seems to be okay. Superman to the outside, trying to find a way around the 397 of Alex Pomerleau. For now, gets himself up into the top 10. Now looking for 9th, skates on the outside of the 513. He goes up and over the edge, though, comes back, able to hold on. No! Finally gets the kill shot. And we saw it happen live. Man, oh man, what an eventful half a lap there for the 218 of Kurt Schatzer. We know this started back here. He gets himself over the backstretch wall. Little contact there from the 93, then big contact, and just like that, Kurt Schatzer hard into the outside wall. Caution flies for the second time at the Lernerville Speedway. Nothing Superman can do about that, just other than originally, can't hate him for it, but was in a bad spot there. Just all by himself, drove over that edge, and, well, none of that happens. He's not in that predicament if you drive it in there deep on the top shelf and get it to stick. So, tough break, but we'll be able to bounce back here. Superman may give the big blocks a shot. Who knows? I know Brian Dickens only likes to run the small blocks. I can't remember if Kurt is the same way or not. I do believe he'll run the big blocks every now and then, but can't hold me to that. Watch the cars roll down the front stretch. The Steve King Foundation pace car does turn its lights off, and we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Should have 21 laps to go, when we take the green flag. Your hard charger right now is Brandon Dittmer, up 12 spots. As the green flag flies, the Philly Flyer with a great jump. Anthony Morano with a good jump as well. The 27 of Justin Hazlitt caught sleeping a little bit. The Ant-Man throws the slider. He completes it. Putt-putt puts it in the middle. 3 wide. Randy Shreves down in the basement. Putt-putt gets into the side of the 27. They're running out of room. Bouncing back and forth. Hazlitt, he's going to pay for that one. Hard contact. Trent Verstraeten involved, and Dino involved as well. Caution flag flies. The professor goes around. Man, oh man. Big contact for the 27, and just like that, We're under caution. See if we can go above here. Try and change cameras real quick. Gonna rewind this. I mean, you can, it starts here, middle of 1 and 2. Know where he can go because, I mean, Clay's in the middle. Randy maybe doesn't know they're 3 wide there. Comes up a little bit. Clay gets into him. Randy's still floating. They're just bouncing back and forth, and Hazlett's not going to be happy about it, but not too much Clay could really do. That's just guys, trying to race hard and get every position while they can. And just a product of dirt racing. You get rubbing, I mean, cars start bouncing around. That's what happens, and can't really put either guy at fault there, just trying to be aggressive here in the early stages of the race. Pace lights are off, or the lights are off on the pace car. Trevor Giroux should bring us back to the green flag this time, and looks like being the third caution, we'll stay single file for the rest of the night here. Force those guys to behave a little bit. 19 laps left to play in the Clay. The Philly Flyer brings us back underway. Randy Shree's holding on to that third and final podium spot now. Can he get up there? Can he make a run at Anthony? He looks down low. He left the door wide open for putt-putt, but he just couldn't get a run in the opening lap. But he does now. Only a fender. And Clay may not like that, but man, oh man, when you're just up there, we saw Dan lift earlier going down the backstretch, and it paid dividends. And that's one where Clay, I know he's going to want that, but it's really tough to see when someone's there. He didn't have half a car. Back under caution once again. That was Michael Vecchio, I believe, on the inside. Let's take a look here. The 247 gets a little contact there on entry from the 213. Just gets back. Well, let's take one more look at this. Maybe this starts somewhere else. It may have been a previous lap thing. Who knows? He gets loose up top there. Tries to counter back. You got to think, I mean, he's got him clear to do that, but 213 maybe not very happy. Gets into him, and man, just like that, Michael Vecchio, maybe all she wrote. Guys, man, we've had some races in these Thursday nights where, I believe at Wheat Sport, in the 2 divisions, we had 3 cautions all night. They went 70 laps with 3 cautions. But sometimes, maybe people got new toys for Christmas they don't want to share. And some people want to borrow them, and you got some grudges out there. Not too sure what's going on. I see John out there watching what's going on, John. Hopefully I get to your guys' here on time. This one's running a little long, but the green flag is high, ready to fly, back underway. 17 laps to play in the Clay. Clay Christopherson trying to go to that outside. Randy leaves it open once again, but it seems like lap number 1, turn 1 on those restarts, you just don't have that head of steam yet. Randy not going to make the same mistake through 3 and 4, left it open. Now can Putt-Putt get to the outside? Randy going to go up there, shut the door. Just there's enough grip left down on the bottom of the racetrack through 1 and 2 that you can get away with running the bottom. Let's take a look back here. Hard charger right now, up 13 spots. The Canadian Alex Pomerleau in the 397. Brandon Dittmer and Rick Main also up 13 spots as well, as those two are going at it. That's the 187 and the 83. Can they find a way to keep on climbing up. Not easy to do here at the Lernerville Speedway, where the track becomes top dominant fairly early and it gets a little tough to pass, but I think we may be looking at a slide job. No, Trevor Giroux may have been sensing it. He goes down there and shuts the door, but the Ant-Man finds the grip coming off the corner. Does he send it in here? Battle for the lead. Anthony Morano leads with 12 to go. The Philly Flyer coming back with some more sauce through 1 and 2, but Anthony, too good. The Magic Ant-Man to the lead. Top shelf through 3 and 4. He leads with 11 laps to go. Randy Shreves likes what he sees, goes downstairs. Can he find a way around the Philly Flyer? Man, Trevor, he was real quick early on, but kind of got away from that top shelf. He's about half a lane too low. Gets into the front stretch wall. Here comes Putt-Putt. Randy Shreves got to the back of him when he got in the outside wall. Putt-Putt now trying to get to the outside. Does Randy leave it open? He goes up. He feeds Clay Dinner. Hopefully the 51 didn't eat yet, because, man, he just got a full plate. You had to see it coming. And, you know, I mean, slide jobs, yeah, they're a part of racing. Definitely a little bit of a block here. But, I mean, you're racing hard here at the end. Let's go on the nose here, the 51. So he's barely to the outside. You see the 56 coming up, and this is where I know Clay doesn't want to, but got to live to race another day. There's not really that lane there. And, I mean, are you faster than the 56? For sure. I mean, anyone watching this can see that. But you got to put yourself in a position to win the race. And with the guy blocking you in front, I mean, I'm calling it how it is. Randy's blocking a little bit. You got to be willing to suck it up. And I talked about how difficult of a track it is to pass at Lernerville. You know, you're so committed to that high side. Got to time that right. You got to realize, hey, he's been blocking me. I've got to cut down below him here. If not, I'm going to get fed dinner. And that's exactly what happened. Tough break for the 51. But Clay Christopherson, he is another one that I expect to be battling for the win here in the big block modifieds. Oh, hey, Isaac chiming in. What's going on, Isaac? I said you were probably hanging out with the old lady here tonight. Taking a little night off. Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off. We'll have 9 laps left here at the Lernerville Speedway. Can Anthony Morano hold on? Can the Philly Flyer find a way back on by? We're back underway. Dan McLaren immediately to that outside, trying to get a run on the 122. Remember, Brian Dickens won this feature last week. Trying to go for the twofer. He'd at least like a podium. Can he find a way around the 56? Philly Flyer standing toe here with the 32, but needs to do more than that. Needs to find some speed, needs to be able to work around the outside. And right now it just seems like he's not willing to flirt with the devil like Anthony is. He's a half a lane lower. And Anthony is just, you're seeing it. I mean, so much more speed going down the straightaways. As there he goes, doing the dance. Just still, you see about a quarter of a lane lower on exit. Just needs to get up there a little bit higher. But Brandon Dittmer started 24th. Look at him battling to the inside for P6. Come on, Spider Monkey. Oh, he gets into the Canadian. The Canadian holds firm like a strong maple tree on the outside. Brandon Dittmer going to go upstairs and take a look. Meanwhile, Sam Bachman able to race his way back up towards the front. We saw him get involved in an early accident. He started P6, back up to 8th. 4 laps to go, and well, your top 3 look pretty set here right now. Can Brian Dickens find a way around this? I believe Dan McLaren Soupy does go up over the top shelf. Tough break for Dan McLaren. 3 laps to go as Brandon Dittmer tries to get into the top 5. Gonna cut underneath. Big counter. Can the 83 throw a slide job? No, the Canadian's gonna pinch him down. Little bit of a block. 007. James Bond to the high side. Anthony Morano out front here, looking at the white flag. 1 more lap to go for the Ant-Man. The 32, always quick, but had a little extra tonight. Able to work around the outside of the 075 and just drive off into the sunset. Anthony Morano, your 358 feature winner here at the Lernerville Speedway. The Philly Flyer and Randy Shreve, 2nd and 3rd. They'll round out your podium. Brian Dickens, 4th. And Alex Pomerleau just holds on to that final top 5 spot. Brandon Dittmer, Sam Bachman, Rick Main, Jeff Barker, and Mike Weeda. Your top 10 is... We give the drivers a minute or two here to catch their breath. We're going to interview these guys after a rough start, pretty darn good finish to the night here, and the Ant-Man able to park it in victory lane. Congratulations to the 32. Try and go back here. Find Randy Shreves. We'll try to get a word here with the driver of the 56 machine. Excuse me. Let's see here.
I thought I was going to spin you out, but I had no time to react, and I don't know, I popped a big wheelie.
And for some reason, you heard Randy talking there. My mic is not working in Discord like it did the other day again. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. It's reading my voice activity. Very weird. Let's try this one more time. Hey, Randy, you got a copy this time?
Yeah, I got you, Shaggy.
All right, I pulled you up and everybody got to hear the end of your story you were telling Trevor because you couldn't hear me because my settings like to change. My apologies, Randy, man. Good run here. You're able to bring home a top 3. I mean, it seemed like you had to be upstairs. It was pretty tough to use that bottom towards the end.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough race. Very eventful. I may have made a couple people mad, but it's nothing intentional, man. It's just one of them tracks. It's just I don't know, somebody makes a mistake in front of you or something, you just have no time to react, or it's just one of them tough tracks, and you kind of got to race people hard here and get that track position, and kind of. I don't know who it was I got into, but I got into somebody earlier on in the race, and I was thinking about that the whole time. I felt bad, but I just tried to hang on to it, and normally I don't really do good in these things, and happy to pull off a podium.
Well, no, man, it seemed like, not just you there. It just seemed like everybody pretty aggressive here tonight. You almost had to be aggressive yourself, if you wanted to be able to finish on the podium. And, man, you're able to do just that. So congratulations, Randy. Big P3, man. Who you want to thank, brother?
For sure, I want to thank everybody at Coast to Coast. Dylan Shreves Designs for painting my car. Everybody involved with this thing, you for the broadcast, and everybody for watching.
Hey, hell of a job, Randy. Good luck here in the big blocks, brother.
Appreciate it, Shaggy.
Wait, actually, Randy, before I kick you out, I always forget, man. Do you think there is any chance, what's your driver's take? Does anyone pick a small block here in the next race?
I don't think that I would, but...
I wouldn't either, personally, but I'm an idiot. That's why I was asking you.
So I guess it's just driver preference, Some people feel more comfortable in a 358, so...
Well, hey, give him hell, Randy. I know you'll be running a big block. Hopefully we're talking to you again, brother.
Yep, thanks, Shaggy.
Now we're going to pull up the man who finished P2. It was pretty quick all night, but Trevor, it seemed like at that midpoint of the race, car just fell off a little bit. You couldn't run that cushion like Anthony, and he was able to take advantage and get by. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, man, I just can't run the top like these guys, man. I just don't have the skill, plain and simple. Entering on the top, it's just tough. I mean, there's a small percentage of guys who can do that, and I mean, it's what you have to do to be fast. So I just run a different line, a slightly different line, and hope it works. I mean, I either enter high and cut low, or I enter in the middle and drift to the cushion and hope it sticks. But I lose a lot of time on entry, and yeah, I mean, what do you do? I mean, I'm not mad losing to Anthony, and once he got by Randy there, I kind of knew my fate there. But definitely happy to be back and on the podium here and lead a few laps.
Yeah, man, and I mean, it's not like, he rolled over like a dog there. You put up a pretty good fight, and you're even self-admitting, and that's something I have to do too. I'm not the best at running that outside cushion, especially with no wall, man, and to be able to bring home P2 when you're not even in that dominant line, that's a hell of a run, Trevor, and you know that as well as I do, so pat yourself on the back. Congratulations, bud. Who you want to thank on the P2?
I appreciate it, Shaggy. Just got to thank all the boys at Venom here, and good showing for us. Not too bad. Thank Big Tim Race Wraps, RSN Tracksides, Dean Reynolds of the Super Dirt Car Series, Lambton Diesel Specialist, and big shout out to the FTM boys for going on this deal with us to get the stuff, keep the stuff broadcasted. So shout out to them, and big shout out to Anthony and for another win. I mean, I raced with him for a long time, and so props to them. Props to Randy, Dickens, Pomerleau, all those guys on a good run tonight.
Yeah, man, Rivals on the Track, friends off of it. You guys are awesome for doing that. I mention it every time. I wish more of these teams could squash that crap and get together like you guys do. Great example, and look forward to talking to you here after the big block race, Trevor. Give them hell, but before I kick you out, I asked Randy, and personally I think drivers would stay with the big block, but is there any chance we see anybody in a small block after this?
Yeah, I'm honestly, I mean, you won't see me in a small block, but I think you're definitely going to see some guys take a 358. I mean, my whole thing with that is we don't, with the 358s, we get a lot of practice to burn the track in, and with the big blocks, it's kind of get in, roll over in 10 minutes. So it's like, I don't know. I think you'll probably see guys like Anthony who are good enough to get away with it, and then when the track slicks off, they're always good. I mean, you might see him, and if Clay's in there, I mean, he'll probably take a 358. You'll probably see, I think, at least 2 or 3 guys, but I can assure you won't see me in a small block.
Well, hey, good luck, Trevor, and hopefully we're talking to you again, brother. Great run, man.
Thanks, Shaggy. Appreciate you.
And the man who danced with the devil upstairs, Anthony, it paid off, man. You're up that half lane higher than Trevor, and you're just able to just gnaw at him, man. Gnaw into that lead, and you get into a little 2-lap battle, but made pretty quick work. That 32 seemed like it was a rocket ship tonight, man. Talk to us about it.
Well, I was watching the Tulsa shootout today. I saw the other Ant-Man, Anthony Prego, win on the top side in the heat race, so I figured that was probably my best bet. Take some advice from that guy there. So I was just up that little bit higher than Trevor and was able to get the right rear in that fluff and get a better drive off, and just went in the next corner, and I think it was 3 and 4. I threw the first slider, knew I was going to clear him, so I felt okay doing it, as much as I hate throwing them, but I knew that was going to be the only way I was going to get around him. I tried just to go around the bottom, and there was nothing down there for me, and figured, well, the only thing I'm going to be able to do is throw that slider and clear it and try to take off from there.
Obviously, I mean, it broke down, I'd say, pretty well to how you wanted it. I mean, nobody wants a lot of cautions early on, but when you get out front, was there any thought, maybe we get another caution here, restack the field? You're worried about losing the lead, or you just focused on running smooth on that top side?
Really just worried about hitting my marks and not spinning the tires on the restart's the main thing, because that'll really screw you up there, and then you cause another chain reaction, you get another wreck. So just rolling into the throttle and getting into the tack and then standing on it and making sure, turn 1 could be a bit treacherous, and especially coming out of 2 onto the backstretch. You go over just that little bit and then you're screwed going into 3. So as long as I hit 1 and 2 there on that restart, I was pretty confident I'd be all right.
Well, Anthony, first win this season, first win of the new year here in the 358 Modifieds. Congratulations, brother. I think, I know you didn't want it to happen this way, but your teammates who you were battling with for the points, they had some rough goes tonight. So you'll probably walk into next week the point leader. Congratulations, man. Who you want to thank?
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, the boys over there at FTM. Dean at Super Dirt Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, MDI TV, Expert Installation, Castaway Flagstone, Shaggy for doing the broadcast, Bowman's Designs, and everyone here at Coast to Coast, and Venom for doing half the sponsorship here so we can have you come out and broadcast.
Yeah, man, that is so awesome. You guys getting together, cool deal. And, well, you're the main person to ask here. I asked the other two kind of just as a what if. But the last one threw you under the bus, said if anyone would do it, it would be you. Is there anybody going to come out here in a small block, do we think, for the next race? Or are we all going to run the big block?
There's a few of us talking about it. I took the big block, so I think Clay and Sam might take the 358. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, hey, if they do, tell them one of them to message me on Discord so I don't look like an idiot. Okay?
Alrighty, I'll let them know.
But, hey, great run, Anthony. Congratulations. And, hey, man, I'm not going to put the pressure on you, but I'll be surprised as hell if I'm not talking to you after the next one. Good luck.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
That's the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. First win of the new year here in that 32 machine, and he's got a lot more coming. Your previous point winner here in the series, I believe. But with that here, we're going to step away, take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with your Big Block Modifieds presented by Atlantic Management Resources here at the Lernerville Speedway next. Stick around.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. They're trying to speed up the program here because, well, Travis Piercefield with Extreme E-Speed TV will be bringing you the broadcast of the Pro Late Models here next. But for now, we're going to get ready to roll into qualifying. 26 drivers here. What a ride for the 7 of Bob DeGood. Hopefully they had the backup car ready to go. as well. You're going to see me do something here really quick. My apologies. I did not save the camera. And when I did that, and I should have, not going to this time either, but I want to be able to click that camera when people aren't on the racetrack. That is what that button means. Let's find out here. Dan McLaren. He's a little far behind. Who we got? Michael Vitale in the 213 coming around. But Superman actually on lap number 1. Let's follow the 218 here, Kurt Schatzer. Kurt Schatzer, always quick. Had a good running there until he got involved in that little squabble in the 358s. See what Superman does. 15:37. But 100 grand takes over the pole in the 518. Joseph Grandi always on the money. And that cotton candy with a little black looking machine. John Hine goes purple through sector 2. He moves on up to P7, but putt. Welcome to the party in the 051 Clay Christopherson quick time. Sean Green in the 271 coming around to the checkered flag for his second and final lap. Or first lap, excuse me. First lap comes in P8. Pretty good lap there for the 271. Slower through sector 1. Can he find any more speed through sector 2? The answer is no. He's going to stay P8 is Sam Bachman. He's able to park at P3. Good run for the 007. We got 4 FTM in the top 5. 5 in the top 6 is Anthony there at P6. Good qualifying effort for the FTM boys is the Spider Monkey. Brandon Dittmer, he never even got to get a lap in. Too late to the party. And 2 cars going to go home here in this one. We'll have, let's see, 4 heat races. Get ready here to take a look at the starting grid. Heat race number 1. Winner will start on the front row. Or on the pole, excuse me, for tonight's feature here at the Lernerville Speedway. John Tobias, the 21. Blackjack to the inside of row number 4. Outside of row number 3 in the 89. Mason Hine into his inside, the 513 of Jeff Parker. Putt lines up on the outside of row number 2. Into his inside, his FTM teammate, Dean Reynolds. Superman, Kurt Schatzer, lines up on the outside of the front row. Into his inside, the 2 of Harold Klump. As the boys get ready to settle some scores here. A lot of stuff happened in the 358 modifieds. Would not at all be shocked if we maybe saw a little bit carry over here into the big blocks. As the Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 1 is underway. Let's go play in the clay. Dino got the mower out here. Oh, it bottomed out on him, and the Brewerton Beast moves up into that 4th and final transfer spot. Dino trying to get some of it back, but not able to. Mason hit him with the high, and on the high side, trying to storm his way up into P5. Whoa, John goes around in the back all by himself. Tough break for the 21. Blackjack going to have to race his way through the B main here as Harold Klump got that 2 sizzling downstairs. Looking good out front. But here comes Putt. Cue the jaw music. Clay Christopherson ready to turn up the heat. He goes so low. You see he dips that left tire in the grass. And Clay willing to go down there and get it done. Just trying to search for grip. Harold doing a good job of closing off the middle. And Kurt there for a while was hoping the high side was going to come in. He gets a good run off at 2 the first time he goes down to the bottom. What does he do through 3 and 4? Jeff Barker holding on to that 4th and final transfer spot as Dean Reynolds trying to run him back down. Dino knows what can happen. He doesn't want to go through a P main. Man, oh man, you don't want to be at the end of someone else's fate there. They could really mess you up. Harold able to hold onto the high side, but Clay Christopherson looking to get to the lead here. He wants to start on the pole for tonight's Atlantic Management Resources Big Block Modified feature. Harold back to the bottom through 3 and 4. Give it to Clay at the white flag. One more lap to go. Clay looks like he's going to hold on. He should have a good enough run to shut the door. He decides to stay upstairs. He leaves it open for Harold. Clay's going to win heat race number 1. Harold moves on P2. Superman third. And Jeff Barker punches his ticket to the show. Dean Reynolds, Mason Hine, and John DeBias to the B main. So we get ready here. Heat race number 2. Whoever wins heat race number 2 will start on the outside of the front row for tonight's Big Block Modified feature. Rounding out the field on the inside of row number 4, Brandon Dittmer. Row number 3 to the outside, Glenn Sharp in the 099. And to his inside, the 247 of Michael Vecchio. Hunter Grand, Joseph Grandy lines up on the outside of row number 2. And to his inside, the Magic Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row number 1, heat race number 2. To the outside, the Professor, John Hine. And to the inside, the 97 of Butch Baker. See, heat race number 2. That is when it does it. I don't understand. It does not like heat race number 2. There's something in the code. Very, very weird. And when I refresh the cache, all is right in the world. And the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. Butch Baker with a good jump on the inside. Is he able to go up and shut the door in front of the 71? No, too much steam for John Hine. He's looking to take the lead here. Lap number 1. Car off over 1 and 2 as the Professor takes the lead. Anthony Morano with a good run on the bottom through 1 and 2. But the Professor storms by on the high side. Anthony left him just enough room. He knows it's early on here. You better play nice. You don't want to be naughty here in the heat races or it may come back to you. Anthony working hard on the bottom. He throws a slide job. John Hine, can he counter? Does he stay in line? The Professor goes down to the middle through 1 and 2. What kind of run does he get off the corner? He pulls even but has to crack the throttle. Got too tight, didn't want to get into the 32 after Anthony just ran him clean. We're halfway, 4 laps to go. Brandon Dittmer on the outside looking in. He needs to make up a lot of ground if he wants to punch his ticket here. About a second gap to Joseph Grandy, who's looking on the high side, trying to find a way around the Professor or Butch Baker. Butch is looking to the inside, trying to get around John Hine, and that may allow Joseph Grandy to get involved in this. John goes over the edge. He's got to crack the throttle. Butch slides up. Joseph tries to counter underneath. They're side-by-side battle for second with 2 to go. Butch tries to pinch the 518 down. Joseph going to float up a little bit. I saw that coming. They touch. You knew it was coming. You got to cement your ground on the inside. You got to be willing to do that. And that's why Joseph wins so many of these races and runs towards the front. Punch from behind. John Hine able to hold on. Dittmer got into him. But white flag flies. Final time around. Anthony Morano, checkered flag. He's going to win heat race number 2. Followed by Joseph Grandy, Butch Baker, John Hine. Brandon Dittmer, Michael Vecchio, Glenn Sharp to the B main. As we get ready for heat race number 3, to the outside of row number 3 in the 187, Rick Main, and to his inside, the 011 of Randall Dixon. James Bond lines up on the outside of row number 2, Sammy Bachman, and to his inside, the Philly Flyer in the 075, Trevor Giroux. Row number 1 for heat race number 3. Winner starts on the inside of row 2. The 213 of Michael Vitale to the high side, and the 56 of Randy Shrees to the inside here, starting on the pole. It's going to be an interesting heat race here. I don't know who I'd pick to win this one. Now it's going to stack over here. Again. Get that going. Is actually pace car going to stay out here, going to do one more lap. Must not have gotten the command to take the to take the pace car off of the track. Roll down the backstretch. The Steve King Foundation pace car does go off this time. And the boys will get ready to play here. Heat race number 3. 8 laps to play in the clay at Lernerville Speedway. Heat race number 3 underway. Good jump by Randy Shrees. Can he go up and shut the door on the 213? Or does Michael Vitale have too big of a run? Here he comes, 3 wide. The Philly Flyer downstairs. Man, oh man, look at him getting aggressive early on. He leads lap number 1. If you're going to make it 3 wide, that is how you do it. You make it stick, you go to the front. And the Philly Flyer setting the pace early here at the Lernerville Speedway. The 007, here comes Sammy Bachman to the inside. He was back and forth up to third. Can he find a way around the 213? Using the low line like he saw Trevor Giroux do out front. Trevor, though, now it should be noted, now that he's gotten to the front, you know, it isn't running as low as he was, is floating up a little higher on corner exit. So he looks in this mirror, he may see that there's a little more speed down there if he goes about half a car length lower in the middle of the corner, because here comes the 007, Sam Bachman, feeling himself right now. 3 to go as they cross the line. Rick Mayne on the outside looking in. Randy Shrees has that 4th and final transfer spot. He's got to be feeling pretty confident right now. He's got a little bit of a gap back to that 187. Can't afford a big mistake. Can afford a teeny fumble here. Is only 2 laps to go. Running single file. Drivers running out of time here as we enter 3 and 4. White flag set, the wave is there. Sam Bachman does go over that edge. Puts Rick Mayne in that 4th and final transfer spot. That's why you never give up. You always plug away. And the Philly Flyer wins heat race number 3. Battle for 2nd. Give it to Michael Vitale. Randy Shreves 3rd. Rick Mayne punches his ticket. Randall Dixon and Sam Bachman to the B main. As we get ready for our 4th and final heat race for the Atlantic Management Resources Big Block Modifieds. Starting on the outside of row number 3, the 93 of Jason Butterfield, and his inside, the 397 of Alex Pomerleau. Row number 2, to the outside, the 444 of Scott Rayome, and to his inside, the 271 of Sean Green. Soupy, Dan McLaren lines up on the outside of row number 1, and to his inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Heat race number 4 winner will start on the outside of row number 2. I'm going to have to close SDK here. My apologies. I'll refresh it for you, but it normally only does it once. Here it keeps overstacking. We will get it back on your end. Maybe not till lap 1. Nope, it's back, and we're ready to play heat race number 4 underway. Dan McLaren with a good jump on that outside. Bob DeGood trying to come back on the inside. Here's got all the kinks worked out. I do believe Scott Rayome battling with Sean Green. Sean Green trying to make that middle line prevail. We've seen it work early on, and here comes Bob DeGood battling back with Scott Rayome. Bob holding on to that fourth and final transfer spot for now. Doesn't want to be that guy. Wants to get himself comfortably in. You don't want to have one little mistake cost you here and get you out of the show. But Alex Pomerleau, here comes the Canadian, gonna look low through 3 and 4. Side by side coming to the line, give it to the 7, but he's got to hold off that Canadian for 5 more laps, and Alex only needed one more set of corners. Bob back to the inside. He ain't gonna go away that easy. Scott Rayome looking to the inside of the 271, battle on for P2. Can my homie Scott Rayome find a way around the 271? Thinks about sending it in deep, just doesn't have the room as we see Bob DeGood throw a slide job. The Canadian back downstairs. Man, battles on for 2nd and 4th. They touch a little bit through 1 and 2. Alex Pomerleau loses some juice as Scott Rayome sends it in. Sean goes a little deeper, maybe a little too deep. He gets a good run off the top shelf, but give it to Scott Rayome at the line. 2 more laps to go. Scott using all that grip there on the bottom of the backstretch to regain his speed and re-pull up in front. Give it to Sean Green at the line. The white flag flies. 1 more lap to go. Bob DeGood dives through the grass and Scott Rayome. Oh my God, what a heartbreaker for this guy tonight. Dan McLaren wins heat race number 4. Sean Green, P2. Bob DeGood 3rd. Jason Butterfield 4th. But man, you got to feel for the 444 Scott Rayome. What's he got to do? I mean, quick car trying to drive his tail off. But just a Hail Mary effort kind of punts him out of the way. And now he's going to have to race his way in through the B main as we have 5 rows here, taking 8 drivers. Running out the field outside of row number 5, Glenn Sharp in the 099. Into his inside, Blackjack John Tobias in the 21. The 444 of Scott Rayome to the outside of row number 4. Into his inside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. Michael Vecchio lines up on the outside of row 3 in the 247. Into his inside, Mason Hine in the 89. The Canadian, Alex Pomerleau, lines up P number 4, and to his inside in the 011, Randall Dixon. Row number 1 for your big block modified B main, presented by Atlantic Management Resources. Starting on the outside, the Spider Monkey in the 83, Brandon Dittmer, and to his inside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Steve King Foundation pace car going to stay on the track. We'll go around one more time here before the boys flip on the serious switch and get racing. Only 2 guys not making the show, so if you have a mistake, if you go over the edge, then almost guarantee you're going to be one of the people going home. You got to behave, you got to race smart. '79 here of Dean Reynolds set to bring us to the green flag here. As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. The B main underway. We're taking 8 to the feature, 10 laps to play. Oh man, no, oh my gosh. We're already seeing it. 2 guys go around, Scott Rayome and Sam Bachman. Sam Bachman has won already this season in the 007. He is going to have to call it a night. He is done. Glenn Sharp done. Does Sam Bachman see that and maybe think about staying out on the racetrack, hoping for one little last mistake? Scott Rayome holding on to P8 right now. So the drivers on the racetrack making the show. Let's go back. Let's see if we can play the blame game here early on. What happened in turn 1? So the contact started there between the 747 and the 444 of Scott Rayome. Scott trying to come down. So the 89 of Mason Hines, something had already happened up there. Nothing's happening in this B main. We're not missing anything. He just goes down, gets in the grass. It tightens up on him. Sam, yeah, just everybody meets in the middle. Tough break, racing incident. And I say, just like that, 8 cars in the show. Glenn Sharp back out on the racetrack in case something happens to any cars. But your top 8 seem to have their tickets punched here. 4 laps to play at the Lernerville Speedway. That is a really, really tough break here, but I just remembered to check Discord. Scott Rayome did go with the big block here. Said he chickened out of the small block, able to the spin out here, get himself up to P7. He should make this show, barring a big mishap. But these two at the front here, they're buddies. And it may be the B main. They know that their tickets are punched now here. They've got a 3-lap lead on Glenn Sharp. So Glenn Sharp is officially out of this show. There's only 2 laps to go. They're letting it all hang out. Dipper, the Spider Monkey, climbs around the 79. New leader with 1 to go. Dean gonna stick to that middle line, watching the 83 rip the rim. Brandon sends it in. Final time through 3 and 4. Brandon Dittmer wins tonight's B main. Dean Reynolds, Alex Pomerleau, Randall Dixon, Michael Vecchio, Scott Rayome, Mason Hine, and John DeBias to the feature. And with that, we're going to step away for a couple minutes, and we will be right back with your big block modified feature. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. 30 seconds until the Atlantic Management Resources Big Block Modifieds kickoff here for Thursday Night Thunder. Remember, stick around after this. Travis Piercefield will be bringing you the pro late models here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, presented by Extreme E-Speed TV. I believe, actually, you know what? Let's pause with Shaggy here for a second. Let's see. I can go to the schedule like I should have done. I'm on points. My apologies. I could be wrong, but I believe, well, Extreme eSpeed TV is doing the broadcast. 10,000% sure. But okay, yeah, Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights is sponsoring the Pro Late models this season. So appreciate it, boys. You may have heard me call a couple of the shows over there with Joe Halter. Great league over there. They're sister of the Coast to Coast Racing League. Awesome group of guys here. Well, it looks like we're just running a feature here. I wonder if they're gonna change this. Hey Jeff, I'm live on the broadcast. Are we making a new one or are we doing this one?
What's wrong?
Oh wait, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. I had a mental lapse. I'm an idiot. You're all good. I'm going back to my home. You have fun. I'll tell you what. Man, Shaggy is getting old here. We literally just watched warm-ups and I thought they started the show and skipped qualifying and everything and went straight to the feature. Boy, oh boy, man, is my head in the clouds. What is going on? Let's bring up here. We got to roll through this really quick because I got caught sleeping. Man, oh man, Shaggy's an idiot. Row number 12, John Tobias, Mason Hine. Row number 11 to the outside, Scott Rayman. It is inside, Michael Vecchio. Row 10, Randall Dixon. And the Canadian Alex Pomerleau. To the outside of row number 9, Dean Reynolds. Brandon Dittmer to his inside. Row number 8 to the outside, Jason Butterfield. And his inside, Rick Main. John Hine to the outside of row number 7 into his inside, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Bob DeGood to the outside of row 6 and it is inside the 56 of Randy Shreves. Butch Baker to the outside of row 5 and it is inside Superman Kurt Schatzer. Sean Green to the outside of row 4 and it is inside Michael Vitale. Row number 3 to the outside, Joseph Grandy and it is inside Harold Klump. Row 2, Dan McLaren and Trevor Giroux. Row number 1 for tonight's big block modified feature. FTM teammates Anthony Morano to the outside. Putt Clay Christopherson to the inside. As the boys get ready to play, the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 30 laps to play in the clay at the Lernerville Speedway. Man, they're branching off here early. 3-4 wide in the middle of the pack. All's well so far. Joseph Grandy still in the middle. Anthony Morano trying to battle his teammate for the lead. And they've got the Philly Flyer to the inside. Anthony going downstairs. Can he slide up in front of his teammate? Knows the answer. Clay with too big of a run right now, but Anthony sends it in deep. He parks it upstairs. Clay counters back. Side by side at the line. Give it to the Ant-Man. Putt back downstairs here, but the caution flag flies at the Lernerville Speedway. And they'll have to go back at it again later. Let's figure out what happened here. I think Randall Dixon in the 011 possibly involved here. Let's see what we can figure out. Stack up in front of him. Just tightens up the car, gets into the outside wall, and tows it immediately, but caution flag flies. And just like that, we're pacing here at the Lernerville Speedway. Yeah, like I said, the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Late Models, Pro Late Models are coming up next, so if you're interested, definitely stick around. Thanks for tuning in, Frank. Got a lot of people tuning in on the Coast to Coast side of things. Thanks for tuning in over there as well. Tyler, they're racing, like I say, the Pro Late Models there next. These are the big block modifieds, or a small block modified if you felt like it. Not really much advantage to the small block right now, because, well, you heard drivers talking too. Track will reset it in between sessions, obviously, and track not very wore in, so you want the power of the big block right now. You're not really afraid of spinning the tires or any of that nonsense as Anthony Morano drops the hammer. We're back underway here. 36 laps to play. What are they looking like coming off the 2 here? Most guys up top. That's where I think you want to be. Anthony showed us that in the 358s, and you want to be up there in the 358. You're definitely going to want to be up there in the big block. You can maintain that momentum a lot easier. You just got to use the throttle as your friend. You don't want to be hammering that thing through the slick. When you hear that motor, it may sound fast, but boy, is it slow, that's for sure. You're just spinning the tires. You're not getting any grip. And Soupy battling to the outside here. He's trying to look for that third and final podium spot. Trevor Giroux relentless here, trying to make that inside work, but just can't do it. He's going to go back upstairs as soon as he got that opening. Jeff Barker, your hard charger, up right now, up 4 spots there in that yellow and blue machine on the top shelf. Can Jeff Barker keep his charge through the field? Brewerton Beast always quick here in the big block modifieds. And John Hine here, he's making a run, trying to move on up as the Spider Monkey goes over. Whoa, Brennan Dimmer! Somebody call an ambulance for the 83. The Spider Monkey hard into the outside wall, and he's not going to get a caution. Tough break for Brandon Dittmer as his night is over. Anthony Morano just walking away with this thing. We're going to watch him here. We're going to station up in turn 4 as they roll through. Going to get to see this gap. I mean, almost a second over his teammate. Even bigger gap back to P3, and then it's just a train. Right now, Trevor Giroux and Joseph Grandy. Well, I shouldn't say that. We won't mar them with that. We'll give it to the 271. This is really where it looks like the cork starts. And nobody wants to be the cork in that bottle. But man, oh man, they're racing behind this 271. And they're just fighting to get out of this cage. John Hine up 4 spots here. He takes that new hard charger spot. Can he get up 5 spots? Can he find a way around the Brewerton Beast? Or is Jeff making some home way downstairs? Trying to work around Harold Klump. Cuts the grass through 1 and 2, and he's going to lose 1-2 spots as the Professor rolls by on the high side. Last time by for Anthony Morano. Well, it was one of his quickest laps of the race. That guy is not messing around here. He is leading the field here. 16 laps to go at the Lernerville Speedway. Joseph Grandy trying to find his way into that podium spot. He's getting a big run center off through 2. Loses the rear end. That allows Trevor to go up and shut the door, and that's exactly what he does. He says he's not that comfortable with running the high side. Look damn good there, Trevor. Do it again here in 1 and 2. He's dancing with the devil. Now he's picking up that speed. Joseph Grandy going to have to put his head down, figure a new way around if the Philly Flyer is going to sack it up there and whip it around the high side. But then as soon as I say that, enters in a little lower. Joseph Grandy going to try to counter with a run here. Do we see a slide job battle for third? Not enough room to clear. Side by side coming off. Philly Flyer holds on for now. Grandy's got to go back upstairs. What happened to the Professor? John Hine, he had lost all those spots. He was up in the mix. Now Dean Reynolds up 5 spots here after having to race his way through the B main. Finished P2. Finds himself 13th, looking at a battle for possibly the top 10. 12 laps to go. Not a lot of time left for the 79 at Dean Reynolds. Rick Main, he'd be the first to tell you these aren't his wheelhouse, but he's doing a good job as that 187 inside the top 10 now in P10. He's up 5 spots, so he is actually, well, Scott Rayome here up 7. He's now the hard charger. He finished in that final transfer spot. or second to final transfer spot, excuse me. That's right, there was a collision at the line. He was able to get back on by, but you're looking at Clay Christopherson. Now you're looking at the leader. 1.7 second gap for the Ant-Man, who clearly saved a little bit of magic here for the Atlantic Management Resources Big Block Modifieds. He is putting on a show here, even in the stage of showing. He's got a lot of tire left in that 32. Sean Green, Kurt Schatzer battling for that final top 5 spot. Sean holding on to P5 for now. Can Superman find a way by? 7 laps to get it done. Randy Shreves trying to hold off the 187 of Rick Main. Does for now. Rick back to the outside as the caution flag waves for only the second time here tonight in the Big Block Modifieds. Jason Butterfield and possibly John Hine involved. Let's see here. Let's see John anywhere around, so maybe unrelated incidents. So that's the 93 pulling off. That should not have brought out a caution. I wouldn't think it did. Let's see what happened to the professor here. Let's see if this was caution loaded. Gotta be. 71 drives up over the edge and loops it. And that is our caution. Normally don't get the benefit of the caution sitting on the high side, but lucky for John there. I mean, you never want to spin out, but able to keep himself in this race with the caution. Clay Christopherson, time to put your head down. If you got anything for your teammate in that 32, time to win it or wear it. We're going to have 6 laps here at the Lernerville Speedway when we drop the hammer, which means single file restart within 10 to go. Steve King Foundation pace car lights are off, and get ready to go back racing this time by. Can Trevor Giroux work his way onto the podium for a double podium tonight, or is Joseph Graney going to be able to hold him off as the green flag is high? It's not ready to fly. They extended the caution, and well, this means they're going to have to wait here for a long time because the pace car, we're going to see it coming, takes a real long trip around. I have to pull out in front of the cars here, so we'll wait a little bit. Drivers want to make sure they wait long enough so that we don't have to pace again, please, Anthony. Because if we don't let the pace car pass you before you get there, we're going to be in trouble here. So there he goes. He finally does come to a stop there. We should see the pace car pull off this time unless they extend it one more time here. Okay, it is going to go around one more time. See here, the lights off. Yes, they are. Should be going back green. As long as all the drivers keep it moving, nobody stops coming out of pit road here. I have the pit road cam on. See if I can find any culprits. Anybody coming out there and stopping. But it looks like we're okay here. The Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Anthony Morano drops the hammer. The middle of 3 and 4, we're back underway. Other drivers maybe not expecting to go that early. But Joseph Grandy didn't get caught sleeping. He's able to stay right in tow with the 51 here, who looks to be the clear second place car as of now. Maybe third, but what I mean by that is there's one guy solidifying himself out front, and it is that 32, Anthony Morano. Since he's gotten to the lead, nobody has sniffed that man, and 4 more laps to go. You gotta think without a serious mess up from the 32. He's got this thing locked up as Kurt Schatzer dives to the inside, makes his way up into the 5th spot. Sean Green looking back low here, trying to come back for that final top 5 position, but Kurt, too much steam on the outside, throws it in, slide job maneuver to protect through 1 and 2. He looks up into that rear mirror and he sees the 271 falling away. I just don't know if Kurt has enough time to go up here and battle for 4th. 2 laps to go. Anthony smooth as silk up front. Clay just watching him do his work. Not able to strike at any point in time, but an FTM 1-2, I know that would have a smile on their face, and they're 1 lap away from getting it done. Coming off of 2, they're going to take all that steam down the backstretch. You're looking at the top 3. Anthony protects final time through 3 and 4. The Ant-Man wins your feature. Clay Christopherson P2 and Joseph Grandy holds off the Philly Flyer to the 3rd and final podium spot. Kurt Schatzer rounding out the top 5. As Sean Green, Harold Klump, Michael Vitale, Randy Shrees, and Rick Main, your top 10. Anthony Morano completes the double here. Pressure didn't bother that guy. He gets it. Well, you know, pressure makes diamonds, and this guy, he really does shine here in those big moments. And Anthony Morano coming home with win number 2 here, Thursday Night Thunder in the year 2025. This may be the year of Anthony Morano. Off to a big start. And I know all those FTM boys are going to be super proud. They're a good team. They race with a lot of pride. And let's go back here, see if we can find Joseph Grandy. And well, we're not going to get that good driver cam apparently because I have that listed as another camera. Here, my apologies. Should zoom in and move around at least, but we're not going to get that good view of the driver like I like to get. Here is, let's go ahead, let's pull up your P3 finisher, Joseph Grandy here. Hey, Joe, Shaggy up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Hey, Shaggy, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. Seemed like you had a pretty quick race car there, but the long green flag run, caution maybe came a little bit too late for you to try to battle for P2. Talk to us about the race.
Yeah, a little redemption off that little embarrassment there with the 358s, but yeah, it just takes too long to get around people. That track's rough when it's, one lane, and just took too long for me to move, and if the caution came out maybe 7-10 laps sooner, might have had something going, but I'm happy with her.
No, and I mean, you said it, that little hiccup in the 358 mods, kind of what could have been, I mean, you were up there towards the front, but able to shake it off, come home in the big block modifieds with a P3. Congratulations, $100,000. Who you want to thank, brother?
Catalytic Recovery, West End Tone and Repair, all the guys over at Inferno, Highline Cinematography, A&J Custom Creations, D&T Designs, my girlfriend Olivia. Appreciate everyone at Coast to Coast and all they do, and you, Shaggy, for doing the broadcast.
Hey, great run, Joe. One of my favorites to talk to, and I'll be looking forward to talking to you again here, man. Good luck.
Yeah, I won't be in the pro late race, unfortunately. Starts a little too late, but I'll catch you next time.
All righty, man. Good luck here in the upcoming weeks, Joe.
Thanks.
That's Joseph Grandy, your 3rd place finisher. And now we bring up the man who, Clay, clear 2nd place driver there for most of the race. And I say that with all due respect. It kind of seemed like Anthony, he just had his own speed he found up top in the big blocks as well as the 358 modifieds. How tough was it to run that guy down?
Just had to get in a rhythm. After that caution, I didn't have many laps left to do it, but I started running the car a little harder, and I was catching him, but yeah, I just ran out of time, and for the longest time we were single file, and it was kind of if he would slide in a little too much, which he didn't do very much, I would do the same. And I was kind of exploring a lane below also a couple of times to see if I could use that track, but there was nothing there. It was just a momentum race tonight.
Yeah, Lernerville can definitely turn into that where you want to just roll that top and try to be dominant. Clay, you're able to do that. Hold on to P2 here and FTM 1-2, man. I know it's not where you want to be, but good for the team. Congratulations. Great points night. Who you want to thank?
You guys for putting this on, you for broadcasting, and Swan Speed Shop for big block and 358 setups, and all the guys at FTM.
Hey, great run, Clay. Look forward to talking to you again many more times this week, brother.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That's Putt Clay Christopherson. And now we bring up the winner here tonight. Anthony, I put the pressure on you. You didn't care. You made diamonds out of it. You always shine, man. 2 for 2 tonight. Congratulations. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, did a lot better in qualifying there, so that helped out a lot. So we're just plugging away here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to roll that 358 so well up top, but you come here in the big blocks and truthfully, man, you did it even better. You were in your own class in this one. What is it about Lernerville that you're just so comfortable, man, running up there without the wall?
I honestly have no idea. It terrifies me, honestly, especially coming out of 4. Because I guess because there's a wall there, it's scary. I don't know. But, just I saw I had a pretty big lead on Clay there for a while. I really didn't want to see that caution. But, I was just, when I had that lead there, I was out of the throttle probably 100 feet before the corner even started, just so the right front would take it and not the right rear. Save the tire towards the end. So, and of course, glad I did, because then we had that restart. So I kind of beat on a little bit there, trying to get away from Clay and Grandy. So it all worked out. It was just real patient with the throttle all night.
Yeah, man, I would say so. Patience is the key. You got pretty close. If you're just watching you there, got pretty close to going over a couple times in 1 and 2, man. But you stayed true. You held on. Congratulations. 2 for 2, Anthony. Who you want to thank, brother?
I think I thank my wife, Sherry. The teammates I have over there at FTM really help out a lot with everything. Dean over at Super Dirt Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, DJ Sim Shop, Castleberry Flagstone, Expert Installation, MDI TV, GripPack.com. Shaggy, you for coming out here doing the broadcast. I'm at Coast to Coast, and who is it? AMR does the big block sponsorship, or Justified. Thank them too for having you come out and broadcast and sponsoring the division.
Oh, hey, I'm supposed to tell you White Lightning said hi. I just saw that in the chat box. Yep.
That guy.
Well, hey, congratulations, Anthony. Good run, man. And we know this won't be the last time I'm talking to you this season. Good job, bud.
I hope not. Thanks a lot, Shaggy.
That's Anthony Morano, your big block modified feature winner. And, well, I'll probably throw up some video. I pulled Travis up here. I don't know if he's going to respond here, but Travis, you there?
I'm here. How you doing, Shaggy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. You excited to take over the reins here and call some late model action?
I am. We've got almost 20 late models ready to go here at Charlotte, as Anthony's going to go for the sweep tonight from Charlotte with the pro late models coming up next, but it should be a great conclusion to our Thursday Night Thunder.
Yeah, man, the great 1-2 punch so far, and thank you for everyone for watching. I'm Zach Chapman from Shaggy TV. I'm going to hand over the reins to Travis here. I'm going to throw up a little video. We'll try to communicate him bringing up the new one, and Travis will close off the night. So thanks for tuning in, and stick around for some pro late models at Charlotte.